Welcome to episode 147 of the 2 Minute Warning. Today I'm going over Week 13 NFL matchup this Sunday. New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Cam Newton versus Justin Herbert. Anthony Lynn versus Bill Belichick. Very interesting matchup going into this schedule. To me, every week the Chargers have a chance at beating whoever they play. They do have the talent. It's just they never get it done. It always seems like the game comes down to the last 2 minutes and they just can't put it together. Whether it's a drop from the wide receiver or a stop from the defense, it just doesn't work. And the Patriots, they could beat anyone and lose to anyone. They've beaten the Ravens and the Cardinals, but they've lost to the Broncos and some other questionable teams. So this is an interesting matchup where both of these teams have the talent to go toe-to-toe with anyone, especially Justin Herbert. He's taken on Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and put up just as good numbers as them. So obviously he can outplay Cam Newton, as Cam Newton last week just played the Cardinals and actually won, but only put up 84 yards and 2 interceptions. So I think if he plays anything like that again, Justin Herbert will be able to take full advantage of that and pull off a win. A lot of speculation possibly within this game because a lot of people want Bill Belichick to go to the Chargers. They want Anthony Lynn out. And even if Bill Belichick doesn't go to the Chargers, they just want to get rid of Anthony Lynn. So if he continues to make bad calls this week and through the rest of the season, his job will definitely not be there. And we've heard Bill Belichick be interviewed about Justin Herbert. He thinks very highly of him, so it'd be awesome to see how those two interact, if they talk after the game, to see any secrets being spread. Just be cool, interesting matchup. But for who I think will win, like I said, we got a good quarterback in the Chargers versus, I don't think Cam Newton's a bad quarterback. His talent is definitely there, but he's not producing this season like he used to on the Panthers. So I definitely think Justin Herbert has the edge there. But then you look at the coaching staff, it's not even close. You got the greatest coach ever versus Anthony Lynn, who's probably not going to have a job after this season. So there's a point to the Patriots, 1-1. And then you have an unhealthy defense versus a terrible wide receiver core. Defense being the Chargers and the wide receiver core being the Patriots. I truly think the Patriots have the worst wide receiver core in football. I would even take the Jets wide receiver core over the Patriots. But in the Chargers, when healthy, have a great defense between Hayward and Derwin James. Bosa's in, Melvin Ingram in the pass rush, but they're inconsistent and they're unhealthy. So really bad matchup for both teams. And I think run game, of course, Austin Eckler's back. We saw he got 16 targets last week against the Bills, 11 catches, led in receiving for that team. Of course, we got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So the Chargers wide receiver core is great, and Hunter Henry also compared to the Patriots. And then the Patriots defense, of course, they got Stephon Gilmore, who might lock down Keenan Allen. But to me, the Chargers getting back Austin Eckler is definitely going to be a great piece for this game. As we just saw, he had great chemistry with Herbert, already one game after the Bills. For me, my prediction this week is going to be Justin Herbert and the Chargers take home the win, even though the Patriots came off a great win against the playoff team Cardinals, who's likely going to the playoffs. But I think Justin Herbert is going to just definitely seal his NFL Rookie of the Year case with this game. If it's not sealed already, to me it is. He's pretty much a unanimous winner. But I think against this Patriots team, against a good defense, against a solid defense and a great coach, he's going to be able to show off that he can play against any team and produce himself. He might not be able to get wins like he did through this entire year due to coaching and his defense, but himself is able to put up numbers that put his team in a winning position. They just don't clutch it up in the end. But this week, Justin Herbert's going to get, I believe, his third win of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. Second or third, one of those two. But I think it'll be a close game for sure, just because the Patriots, even though they lack Tom Brady, they lost Gronk, they lost Edelman, and they're just not the Patriots dynasty, of course, anymore. They're still coached by Bill Belichick, and he's not going to get blown out by any means. It's still going to be a close game. Even the games the Patriots lost, it's still somewhat in contention. So, of course, it's going to be the same this week. But I'm going to roll with Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler to get their, I believe, third win of the season. Patriots, their little bit of playoff hope that they do have is going to fall out after this loss, and they're going to start looking in the draft, in my opinion, probably seeing who they can replace with Cam at quarterback possibly in the draft. But Justin Herbert's going to get his third win in the NFL this week. 2 Minute Warning.